right, Coach B, start with a statement and get any questions.
Yeah, first give credit to Purdue. Obviously, did enough to win this game. I thought our guys during the course of the week put a lot of good preparation in. I thought we had a pretty good week of prep, just locking into where we were at, offense, defense, special teams. For the most part, to start the game in a positive way. Just everything the last, not only this week but last week, just a flashback in my head, like just we'll get a momentum swing or do something good, and then we just have something that sets us back. Case in point, we have obviously we lose Taz in the middle of the first quarter there, and T Strain had a really good week of preparation, because we weren't quite sure where Taz was going to be till Taz got cleared on Wednesday. T Strain really did a nice job of getting himself in the right frame of mind. He makes a big play interception. We just can't capitalize off that. That's something we had done all year long. So, to beat a good team, you got to be able to capitalize on those moments, and that was kind of a microcosm of the whole day. I thought we did enough things, self-inflicted wounds. Obviously, a lot of penalties today that we got to make sure that we assess and realize what we're doing to make sure those aren't called again. And then really just at the end of the game there to have that second to last series to get backed up and to get the sacks, the negative yardage, and then in addition to penalties, it was just not the recipe you're looking for. So. We have 2 remaining opportunities, obviously both on the road, to take this team. Sometimes in situations like this is exactly what you need. Maybe get on the road and double down on the 74 guys going with the staff and take ourselves to Ann Arbor and see where we're at. So with that, open up for questions. I don't know anything about Chase's injuries or anything along that kind of happened in the second half. I don't have any updates.
Bret, the big moment felt like you guys had a 3-and-out, and then the Devin Witherspoon pass interference. Did you get an explanation about that? What did that moment mean in the game?
Yeah, no, we've seen, Spoon's been playing really good. I know we've had, I think we had 4 PIs on the season to this point, and today we had, I believe, 5. We're just gonna have to get clarification where we're at. That one was frustrating. I tried to get an answer, couldn't quite get it. We've had these officials before. We had them at Indiana, we schooled our guys up on this crew that we've seen before. They're going to call things a certain way. So we did all the mental prep we could, but obviously the execution in game wasn't good enough.
Coach, the unforced errors, you hadn't seen this much all year. Any idea why that happened?
I think frustration set in for sure. Okay. There's a couple times it was getting a little chippy out there, obviously both ways, and that drive that manifested in points. I believe there was 2 unsportsmanlike for 15 each, and I think there were 2 DPIs on that series, and you're just not going to survive major college football and Big Ten play with those kind of numbers working against you.
Coach couldn't get a lot of pressure on their quarterback. Was that O'Connell getting rid of the ball quickly?
Yeah. So the 2 fastest throws in Big Ten play are Purdue is number 1 and we were number 2 on quarterback delivery, getting the ball out. So we knew on early downs especially you weren't going to be able to get to them. It's just not part of their scheme. It's not part of their plan. So that was there. I thought our defense made some nice adjustments. They did a little bit of pitch series there in the middle, a little one-back option that was new. Our guys made some corrections on the sideline, got that taken care of. But, in the end, some of our staples defensively, to kind of just there on a couple tip passes, and then obviously the DPIs were very, very harmful.
At these moments down the stretch when you're chasing a division champion, for teams that just haven't had that experience, what can be learned?
Yeah, great question. So I've told these guys, like, this journey that we're on, right? You've won a lot in your moments of success, but you will learn more of the moments of failure, right? The moments of adversity. It hurt double today because it's senior day, and some of these guys won't ever be able to leave the field. Some of the seniors I know were very emotional, even just walking up the stairway there. So the good news is they've done a lot of good things. The tough news is, right, we didn't do enough the last 2 weeks to let this get to where it is today. Obviously, it's a race that's nowhere close to being done, but I think the only thing we can worry about now is getting Illinois football, good at Illinois football. We can't, we're in no position, which was kind of our directive this week. We really wanted to focus on playing Purdue, a divisional opponent, a rematch game. This was our 6th rematch game. It's our first failure in a rematch, and very, very hard to win with the things we were doing today.
What do you have to say about your seniors last home game?
You know, it's a very special group. It's kind of a mixed bag. You know, there's some guys that were here before I got here. There's some guys that joined us after this first year. You know, a guy like Art, and different guys that joined us when we came here. And then there's some that we just literally joined, you know, right before fall camp. So it's this COVID thing has just got everything a little bit crazy, the portal world. But I know our players all week, and then you know the emotions that they had shown. It's a group that's very well liked, and love to have sent them out of here a winner. But you know, the bottom line is they got 7 wins, and we'll see where we can go to try to hopefully get one more.
Even with maybe the focus on just Purdue, just the rematch, did you feel like some of the other pressures leaked in to make it a little more emotional?
I don't see that. I get how everybody will you know have their own narratives, but this group really just kind of all week just talked about rematch number 6 playing Purdue. The team that you know I showed you know the last play of the game a year ago. Really frustrated that we weren't able to close that thing out, and then this year I think we focused on more of the same. I think the part that really jumps out to me, the opportunities that we had earlier this year that made us win those games. We've kind of had those same moments. We just weren't able to push ourselves over the top, right? We've been very complimentary about we got a turnover, the offense scored, or defense gave one up, offense went out and scored. And I know that happened once today, but to be a consistent football team, you have to be consistently good at what you do.
Are you seeing something in the run game over the last couple of weeks that you just don't like, or is it just people loading the box right now?
Well, they're definitely doing different things, right? You know, whether it's going to be a field or a boundary bonus player. You know, if we do have a loaded box, we got to be able to spit it out on the perimeter and execute that. I think that there was a couple of those we'd have back today. And then, you know, bottom line is, you know, to have success for 4 quarters, it can't be, hey, we ran the ball well in the second quarter and the fourth quarter, and we didn't do well in the first and third, right? We got to have that efficiency in the 4 quarters, and it can't just be all on one player, right? We had to rule. I knew Chase was, you know, taking a lot of reps, so that's why. You know, Josh, unfortunately, when he got that penalty last week, when he got rolled up, he actually rolled his ankle up as well, so that took him out of today's lineup. So we just got to continue to develop, recruit, and continue to build our depth, have our players make moments of learning along the way, and hopefully get back on track and to go to Ann Arbor and put our best performance forward.
How did you have that kind of quick scoring drive to start, and then maybe it's kind of been a trend where you just haven't been able to keep that momentum going offensively? Are you noticing anything after maybe a good quick one to go, and then after that?
You know, I don't know a lot more after watching the film. I can't even remember how we scored on our first one, but there were definitely, you know, we scored on the opening series, right, and then we had 2 3 and outs, and it was just very, you know, just didn't really get anything going. First down success, we have a lot better functionality if we have success on early downs. One of our second key to victories this week was early down success, which leads to third down efficiency, and we weren't able to capitalize that on, especially on those dead plays.
And on that drive before the pass interference, that went for a touchdown. You guys went 3 and out. Was there thought to try to push, be a little more aggressive in getting down the field before half to double dip, or how did you guys?
Yeah, I can't really remember the sequence. I think when we won the toss and deferred, right, and that obviously gave the chance of the opportunity for a double dip to happen. But you know, just we were trying to, I think, especially in the second quarter, just trying to get on the board, right? Get on the board before the half. I thought defensively our guys started to play better, and unfortunately there was those. I think the first 2 scores they had were both 4-play drives. The first score, I believe, was a 4-play drive, and I believe the second one as well. So you know, that went right through the quads. It was right there, you know, just wasn't able to go through, and I believe that was also one of the DPIs on our sideline, which we'll have to look at.
Brett, do you think that the weather had any factors on how today's outcome went?
The weather?
Yeah.
It's Big Ten. It's November, and they had to play in it too, right? So I thought our guys handled the weather a little bit better today. It wasn't near as wind wasn't near as intense, but it was definitely a factor in the kicking game. We handled it much better. I thought the things that we didn't do today were the you know, self-inflicted penalties, the yardage, and that could happen in 80 degrees of sunshine or what the weather was today. Those really don't matter by weather.
Coach, big picture wise, going from 7-1 to 7-3, is there mentally, is there a reassessment of where you maybe thought you were to where you actually are now?
You know, I get it. Like when you're in season, it really kind of just focuses on the now, right? Like when we were 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, and 7-1, it really didn't change how we approached the work week. You know, we've had 2 games in a row now that we've lost. We haven't had that before this season. You got to take it independent for what it is. We didn't do enough things to win the football game, and I thought we did enough things that caused us definitely to work inefficiently. We didn't do the things that, you know, our program, our schemes, offense, defense, special teams are built on, you know, a certain philosophy, and when we can't follow through doing the fundamentals of that philosophy, right? Complementary football, efficient on early downs, take advantage of manageable clock situations, all those things. If we don't do that, we'll have failure, and that's what we've seen the last 2 weeks.
Brett, defensively, you guys set such a high standard early in the season. Last 2 games, teams seem to get a little more chunks. What are you seeing? Like, what do you find?
Well, you know, twofold, right? Like, obviously, teams make adjustments to us, right? And so I think there has been some things where you can tell that people have, you know, schemed and you know, created plays for their players. The other thing is, we know we have, you know, we really through the first 7 games stayed pretty healthy, and when we did have guys go down, it was kind of isolated to a one position, kind of one guy. We've had a multiple of positions today, and in particular that got affected by depth, and that's what Big Ten football races are about, right? The teams that stay healthy and have a little bit of depth are able to come through in the end. Not an excuse, just reality, and that's why, you know, when they allow us to continue to develop our roster, build our roster, and recruit, the better we'll be.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.